Hello, I'm Matt Guff from House.com, and this is Jason Henderson from Burton Snowboards. Jason, how are you doing this afternoon?
Awesome.
Cool.
Yes.
Yes. We've been drinking lots of coffee and walking through all the hard goods for 2019, and we are to a very important part within the line, the park boards. Now, we've kind of selected 3 decks that kind of represent park, but there's others that could be in here, but our table isn't big enough. So we have the Descendant, we have the Name Dropper, and then we have the Paramount. But you can also throw the Custom in there, the Kilroy series, and of course the Processes. You could even maybe dabble with the Free Thinker.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So,
there's a lot, but these 3 kind of represent what is known as park riding.
Yep, kind of in that low to mid price point,
Right.
park boards. So, like True Twin, we've got the Descendant, coming in at $400. Killer graphic on it this year.
Awesome graphic.
So love that kind of snake. Get a nice white custom binding to put on there. It'd be a pretty killer price point
that
setup.
actually would be pretty nice.
True Twin Biax does have our Pure Pop, so it's camber to about right here, just before the contact points, and then it goes flat. So what that does is when you're loading that camber, it gets the contact points off the snow, makes it just a little bit more forgiving, easier to ride, but still the body of the board is camber, so you do have some that pop and that spring that the camber gives you. It just takes that little bit of an edge off.
That's right. It's a nice board with the Biax glass and Pure Pop. It's still pretty easy to press too.
Oh yeah, yep. So it's it has that stability, but if you lean into it hard enough, it'll press really easy. So behind the sticker there's a nice B13 logo. So, but yeah, that one's been killer. That one's if some of the guys remember, like some of the Nobody boards, or from back in the day, the Mr. Nice Guy, which is what those are built on. It's that mold.
Okay, cool. Yep, that makes sense. Is that cinder or is that extruded solid?
That one is extruded.
Extruded solid base. So low maintenance point base, a little bit more lower in price point too.
You just if you're one of those guys that just goes to the park and just grinds on them, grinds through boards on the rails, whatever.
That's right.
You don't care about tuning your boards, whatever. That's a good one.
Now this I know is one of your favorite boards. This is the Name Dropper.
Yeah. Since its inception, it's just been one of those boards that I jumped on and just felt super comfortable right away. So it makes you feel like a hero because it's fun, easy to ride.
Yeah.
It's a true twin. It does have some pretty unique things. You got these little pads here. Is probably the first thing you notice. This has what we call Flail Flex. So what that is a little bit thinner overall core profile. Because basically the channel mounting system has got to be a certain depth. So you can get the hardware in there and everything for pull-out standards. But I wanted to make something that was a little softer.
Right.
So what we found is by thinning out the core all the way around, where the channel is, and putting a heavier gauge of fiberglass on it, it creates a really soft flexing board, kind of longitudinally this way, easy to press, easy to ride, but torsionally it's actually a little stiffer.
Okay.
So when you actually get it up to speed, it does hold an edge. Cool. So it's not just a spongy, floppy noodle like you expect it to be, for how soft the board is longitudinally. So, and these pads are just basically spacers, so your binding's not tipping.
Right. To accommodate for the thickness of the channel.
And a little side, a little kind of side benefit is it dampens vibration.
Right.
You got your binding back here. You don't need a stop pad. But new to the Name Dropper this year, it does have Pure Pop. So before it was flat. So the amount of Pure Pop that's on this is basically just kind of between the bindings.
Okay.
So it doesn't go quite as far out as like what the Descendant would be.
All right.
So locks onto rails and stuff really good. Just add a little bit more spring to it, but killer base. It's actually a big nail.
Yeah, well, I think I've seen that. Has that been a graphic within Burton's line before, like way back in the day? I feel like it reminds me of some
yeah, there's not really necessarily Burton, but there's remember the old Aggression boards that used to have a big train
maybe that was
like railroad spike,
right?
That sort of thing. But
that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
and this is kind of a asymmetrical style setup too. There's one heel set edge and one toe set edge too, right?
Yeah, not necessarily because of the side cut.
Right.
It's called off axis. So what it is.
Box.
Yep. So when we do squeeze box, that's our core profiling where it's thinner underfoot, thicker. We change the thickness, all through the length of the core just to get it to flex and ride the right way. So typically, squeeze box is thinner underfoot, thicker on the outside of the bindings, and usually, on boards like this, they're straight across. Well, with this is off axis because typically every ride's a positive and negative angle.
Yep.
So we actually shift the core profiling at 15 and negative 15.
That's right.
So that's why there's always a right foot and always a left foot.
Right.
It doesn't have anything to do with a deeper heel side cut or anything.
Uh-huh.
It has to do with the actual profile of the core.
Yep.
So
cool. So make sure when you're mounting your bindings, put your left binding where it says
left foot.
Left foot.
So
don't want to mess that up.
So pretty easy, yeah. Your regular foot, that's the nose. Your goofy foot, that's the nose.
That's right. If you're good enough, you can ride both ways the same.
Yeah, cross your feet and whatever.
Right. Then we have a new board to the 2019 line. This is the Paramount.
Yeah, so wanted to kind of inject kind of a new medium to kind of stiff flexing true twin into the line. So you know, the process was starting to get pretty diluted. You had process off axis, and you had process camber, and you had process flying V. So basically, there's only two process now, aside from the Kilroy, but you have process pure pop and flying V.
Yep.
So now full camber goes to the Paramount.
That's right.
So it comes in at $520. Superfly 2 triax glass.
Boom.
Sinter WFO.
Fast.
So fast, hard. It's definitely it's much harder base.
Okay.
So it's a little higher molecular weight. So it's gonna take impacts and just absorbs wax better. It actually is pre-impregnated with wax as well.
Okay. And again, having that triax glass inside gives the sport a lot more energy in combination with that full camber profile shape.
Yep. True twin, mid-wide. It's gonna do everything well in the park, and it just rides awesome. So.
Oh man, it's so nice to see like these are boards that kind of like are some of the driving force that I see with kids on hill ripping laps at Troll or Highland or Buck or kind of wherever.
Or just inbounds anywhere. I mean, it's you look at, let's say what's going to work good on groomers. Well, if you're on groomers, you don't really necessarily need a longer nose.
Nope.
Yes, directional boards work great on groomers, but you can rip turns with a twin.
That's right. You can.
It's awesome.
Yeah. But and then you can also, again, we could add in the Kilroy series, the custom, and the process to this line. But we want to kind of showcase these three, especially the Paramount, because that's like kind of a new board, sweet graphic, full camber. That's awesome. Cool. Well, it's an awesome lineup for the park boards for this season. Jason, of course, always thanks for being here again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you think of these three boards and some of the other ones by leaving a comment in the question about Burton park boards. What do you love about them? What do you hate about them? If you hate anything, subscribe to the channel over there. Check out more vids there. And of course, look at the comments or the briefing below where you can see all these boards linked out to thehouse.com where you should buy these boards. Hopefully, I'll see you guys on snow. Peace.
See ya.